Okay guys, so today I'm going to be making a three-part series of tanning some hides. I got 15 coons inside this tote, and I'm going to go fill this up with water, and I'll explain to you what the first step is. Gotta weigh him down. Now I'm just going to let these things sit in here for about 15 to 20 minutes, or however long they need. Okay guys, it's been about 20 minutes or so. Now I'm going to take this rock out of here and pour this nasty hide water on our driveway. There we go. Okay, so I just took my hides out of that water, and they've been in there for probably 20-25 minutes or so, and you can see they're back to being real pliable and supple again. So in my opinion, this is the nastiest part of the tanning process, and you're going to want to take a shower after this. So you're just going to wring them out as good as you can like that, and then step back. And then just snap dry that raccoon hide and get showered in that hide water, which is disgusting. So yeah, now I'm just gonna do this to all 15 coons. So yeah. Got all my hides snapped dry, now it's on to the next step. Okay, so now this next step's real easy. What you're gonna do is you just want some non-iodized table salt. So I just start up here at the face and just cover the whole thing. Don't be shy with it, it's only like 55 cents a pound, so just lay it on there heavy. Just rub that salt in on each side real good, and that's just all there is to it. So I got my first 2 coons here done. Just thought I'd show you what I was doing. Okay guys, so I got all these hides folded up and salted and all that good stuff, and I just threw them all back in this tote. And I don't recommend doing this if your garage has mice or rats in it, because they will absolutely destroy these. I've lost countless hides due to mice and stuff like that, so be sure your garage doesn't have mice if you're going to do this. And yeah, that's all for today, and I'll come back to this in 24 hours. Okay guys, it's been 24 hours, now on to the next step. Okay, so I've got my tote full of my salted hides over here now. And all I do is take yourself a big kitchen knife like that and flip it over to the dull side so you don't cut the fur. And then just take and then just scrape off as much old salt as you can. And I'm going to go ahead and do that with all 15 of my other coons, so yeah. Okay, so I got all the salt shaken off these hides. So now, like I did yesterday, I'm just going to take them, throw them up in my tote, and then do the same thing I did and just salt them real good all over. And then just rub that salt in as good as you can all over his body. And then fold it up, and then put it somewhere where mice won't get to it. So I got all my hides salted for the second time now. Now they got to sit in here for another 24 hours. So I'll get back with you when those 24 hours are up. Okay, so I just bought all this stuff for a coon hide and a knife. So I also wanted to say big thank you to Keegan Scholl. He's one of my best friends. Big thanks to him for giving all this stuff to me for a coon hide and a knife. So yeah, just thought I'd throw this in here. Okay, so it's been another 24 hours where these hides have been covered in salt. So now I'm going to do what I did yesterday and go outside and beat all the salt off that I can. So yeah. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing now is putting these coons through a saltwater bath. And what I'm going to do is take as much water as it needs to be to cover these hides completely and to be fully submerged. and it needs to be hot water, as hot as your water heater can get it. So I'm going to take as much hot water as it takes to cover these hides, and then the ratio of salt to water is half a pound of salt per gallon of water. There's my dog up there getting my hot water. Here's the first gallon. Excuse the dirty dishes in the sink. There we go, back under the faucet we go. Okay, so I've got 4 gallons of water right here, and do not pour your hot water directly onto your hides, because that'll just mess everything up. So just don't pour hot water on your hides. You don't want your hides to be submerged in hot water. So before you pour your hot water into the tote, make sure all your hides are out of it. So I'm gonna get all these hides out and then pour my water in there. Okay, so I'm gonna go get my 2 pounds of salt while this water's still pretty hot. And also, 1 cup of salt is equivalent to 1 pound of salt. I just found that out. I never knew that before, so yeah. I also want to mention the salt that you use for your saltwater bath doesn't really matter, just as long as it's not iodized. So it can be like water softening salt, that's what I use, or that real coarse salt, or you can just use the real fine salt. That works fine too, so yeah. In goes the salt. Gotta get that powder in there too. There we go. Then get yourself a little stirring stick. Stir that salt in there real good. Get it all mixed up. There we go. And then give that at least 20 or 30 minutes to cool down, and then you can add your hides. Barely just enough water to cover those hides all the way up, so I'm gonna have to come out here every hour, not hour, every few hours or so, and just give this a stir and flip those hides around and make sure all the air is out of there. So this concludes this part of this series, and I'll get the other 2 parts up in a few days. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.